So, James Gunn's Superman trailer dropped, and it's an interesting one to be sure. I always think that these types of movies come down to the casting of the major characters, especially the heroes, and the story that the filmmaker ultimately decides to tell. Now, where casting is concerned, I'll admit that I don't exactly love David Corenswet as the Man of Steel, especially following Henry Cavill, who I thought was a great choice for the character, though the films he was in left a lot to be desired from a narrative standpoint. Now, I'm also not all that crazy about Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, though I did love her, absolutely love her in The Marvelous Miss Maisel. But I'm not as bothered about that particular choice as I am about the casting of Superman. And, after reading the movie's logline and seeing the plethora of characters that make an appearance in the trailer, it would appear that we're going to get a story that may be less focused on a single set of events and will maybe feature a more expansive narrative, which I think could be a real gamble. Now, I always think that when it comes to comic book movies, it's always best to stick with the major events that come directly from the comic books. Because not only do you have a lot of the heavy lifting done for you as a writer, but it's what fans will expect when they buy a ticket. I think you could find yourself in real narrative trouble if you should decide as a filmmaker to make something up on the fly in a case like this. Now, it does appear that we're going to get a lot of action in this film, from what I can tell from the trailer, and it also looks like we're going to get an emphasis placed on the romance between Lois Lane and Superman. Notice I said Superman and not necessarily Clark Kent. And if I'm being honest, I'll be especially interested in how Gunn chooses to handle the Superman versus Clark Kent conundrum as it pertains to Lois Lane. I think, if I'm being honest, that will be the one thing that makes or breaks this film for me. But I mean, I'm just a lowly writer, so, there's that. Now, despite the reservations I have about the cast and this film, and how lackluster the DC universe has been as of late, in my opinion, I'm willing to give this film a chance. And with the film boasting a reported $363 million budget, I honestly hope that James Gunn can make some hay here, because these are the kinds of movies that need to be successful in order to prop up the side of the industry that currently feels like it's on life support. But what do you guys think?